Alright, we are coming back right on here into game 4 between EDG and Gen G. Gen G actually putting on a kind of a hurt clinic in the last game. EDG taking their game 1 strat that went quite well for them, and Gen G able to counter it out just fine here. EDG actually going to get rid of Klid's Lee Sin. I guess they thought that was the main problem there in game 3. We'll see if the adjustments will work out. EDG also did get blue side last time, and it did not stop Gen G from blowing up their Nexus. Viper going to get his Lucian one more time. I think the only adjustment that EDG will make is what their mid lane pick was, because Scout was not involved in that game for quite a long time. And I think the Rise, did that get banned? Rise, what was that, game 3? Yeah, so the Rise was banned by Gen G in that third game. It has yet to be banned so far, so they might actually secure the Rise early on here on the side of EDG. Rascal's going to take away Flandre's Graves, since that was not removed in this game by EDG, because they did that last time. Not 100% sure about that ban. I think Flandre just wanted a different flavor, so he gets his Gwen. Didn't make or break the game all too well. Counter Enchanter from Gen G with the Lulu, which has worked just fine. I think they might pick up the Misfortune here as well. So kind of still keeping these solo lanes wide open. Rascal's got his secured. But bot lane, same story, different page. I think Viper just wants to run it back super hard, still confident with his picks, and I appreciate that. Mako backing him up, captain of the team. Got to believe in your star players. Now, Jade is going to be able to get his Jarvan one more time. Feel like we're just having a salty run back one more time on the side of EDG. Like just making one adjustment, limiting the jungle pool for Klid just that little bit. And this I think will be the first Lee Sin ban, yep, of this series. So Lee Sin finally being taken out could be the recipe for EDG to take this to a game 5, but we have yet to see what they're going to secure for their top and mid lanes. Right now the Rise there, that is taken away by the side of Gen G, so limiting Scout on a signature pick and another good mobility roaming high damage pick that actually, you know, works out a little bit earlier in the game than the Victor. Xin Zhao going to be taken away from Klid as well, so really making this jungle pool pretty shallow for him. Talon might be a pick, but I can't say I remember Klid playing Talon much this tournament. And the Orianna is the last ban there for Gen G. So Scout, he has his Azir available. That has been overlooked. They get rid of the ball delivery system option, which can be devastating, especially for a mobile carry like Ruler's Misfortune. But I suspect that Scout's actually going to take the Azir, and that Poppy, that nearly confirms it for me. Actually, Poppy puts out the steadfast presence, and there's no chance for Scout to actually get his Shrima Shuffle on. And Klid's going to pick up the Viego. Now I feel like we have not seen this in quite a while. Saw it quite a bit during the quarterfinals, but now we're in the semis, and Viego has been absent for what feels like, what, 8 games now or something like that. And Scott's going to steal away the Zoe. Alrighty, so a little bit of adjustment here. Still wants to take that priority. And now the Kennon's available as well. Not really too many top lane bans. So Flandre gets his Kennon, Kennon's been doing very well in this tournament so far. Has been a fantastic AP option and a great flanker. They still have their engage with JJ on the Jarvan and plenty of poke options, their ability to find picks with Scout on the Zoe, but it looks like actually my prediction was only half right. Azir will be in this game once it's locked in here by BDD, but it will be BDD piloting the Azir. So late game AP carry for BDD with this Azir. Late game advantage is kind of looking to be in Gen G's favor, especially with specifically because of the Azir. Rascal will get much tankier, much more consistently damaging and scary. Klid will have a lot of reset potential once if they can find picks. The only, oh boy, Gen G doesn't have any good easy form of engage, so this is going to be really trying. I feel like we're about to see like T1 game 5 where like the options for engage are actually like so limited that it's like either some major flashy play from the jungler, which for Klid would just be like Flash Maw, or Mole, or it's going to require like BDD to have some crazy like Shrima shuffle Emperor's Divide back into his team to like, you know, just alley oop in a bunch of deaths. So this is going to be very interesting, very suspect. It's looking very sus, I guess you could say. Because Prio's going to be in mid lane, which is kind of felt like a very big point, at least something that really dictates the success of these teams. Because if they can actually get out onto the field, affect their top lanes, affect their bot lanes, it can really, kind of make or break what's going to happen. For right now, though, teams I've locked in. We're going to go ahead and get on to the Rift here for Game 4 between Gen G and EDG. If EDG can tie this one up here, we'll go to Game 5, get those silver scrapes out. If Gen G win this, though, they're going to the finals, and EDG is going home. Right now, bot side focus here. BDD, Life, and Ruler looking to try to find someone out. Viper's just going to spot them. Clid and JJ are going to say hi to each other. And then Viper got to get pushed out of his jungle just a bit. And now both junglers going to back off just to feign that they're going to be starting their clears elsewhere. Still looks like Clid's going to be starting topside. And JJ himself also going to be starting topside. So a couple little invades here from Gen G. They're going to get the ward down here on the red buff. But that's going to be like, so I kind of want to go back to like what's going to be like the big concern here for Gen G, because they've got like good scaling, especially on the side of BDD with the Azir, and we're going to have a game pause. Let's see if this doesn't last too long. Let's go ahead and use the power of living in the future to see what we can do here. No, it's going to be a good long pause. And let's bring, alrighty, and that's about it. So let's jump ahead. And we're about to get back into game here. So what I actually wanted to sort of highlight is the part where Gen G doesn't really have a very easy way to engage a fighter, to start a fight here. If they are not actually ahead in this game, it's going to be really hard for them to pick fights, pick skirmishes, pick players off to get themselves back into this game. Meanwhile, EDG actually have plenty of options up and available to pick someone out here. Life's gonna get bullied here actually earlier on. I think, did he actually go for the polymorph earlier in this game? Double up as a start for Ruler. But yeah, Mako and Viper going to get bullied once more by this Gen G bot lane, and that'll be level 2 going over to Ruler and Life once more. So the more things change, the more things stay the same. But yeah, like they have but for EDG they have Scout with the bubbles. They have Jarvan for the flag and drag. He can just go and lock someone up. Flandre can follow up, blow them up. Like there's a lot of there's enough options for EDG to find a way to pick the fights that they want. Gen G's the biggest desire they have is actually to just kite out the situation. Rascal and Flandre going for a good bit of trades here. Flandre feels like he's taking the W here. Rascal forced to dash away. Now Clid looking to invade here onto JJ, looking to bully this one out here. The Prio actually over in BDD's favor, and now Clid trying to find his way out, but that's going to be a speed up there from Scout. Looks like they're not going to be able to find anything. And alright, yeah, that's gonna be a big chicken and a couple. Oh boy, that's a sleep onto Clid. This is gonna be a very early bloody fight here. BDD trying to get himself involved here to body block the situation. That's gonna be a flash over, and JJ is still gonna be up and available. He's gotta get killed off here by BDD, but teleport out. And that's gonna be pretty. Oh no, the bubble was just in time, and that's going to be a double kill over to Scout on this Zoe. Oh, great idea there from BDD just to teleport himself out, thinking that there was not going to be the bubble available, or if it did hit him, there wasn't going to be enough time to hit it when it finally came back up. But Scout gets the perfect timing off. I call that luck. If he typed in calculator, I would not believe him. But that was a very early and bloody fight here. Clid just kind of overreaching just a bit, but I do appreciate just the proactivity. And Gen G still owning bot lane. This is where the sleep actually connects And then they actually they get to pile on. BDD kind of dashes in to at least have his shield, trying to get something done here. And ends up just having his auto attack JJ down. And just miscalculated like where, or just didn't know where the bubble or when the bubble was. And that was just so close. He was almost out. Yeah, he almost had that. Almost had that. Not too much emotion there on a man's face. That's gonna be a little rough start there for Gen G. Just kind of giving 2 kills over to Zoe this early on. Those battle stars are gonna hurt a lot more than usual. And this sets up EDG for a good start to this early game. It looks like scuttles have been split evenly. Bot side still playing a little bit more passively. I think Viper and Viper Maker are still waiting for that power spike moment where Viper can just kind of dash in and super trade onto Ruler, like we saw back in game 1. Nope, big damage onto BDD. Good paddle star connection. Good bubble connection from Scout. There will be opportunities, like we talked about, things like cannon flanks and these burst opportunities, but EDG definitely being the composition that needs to get ahead early, and I like that we see Scout kind of hovering towards the bottom side, looking to utilize Fog of War, though Gen G do have Scuttle Crab on that side, so it doesn't do too much. Oh, Life. I'm going to polymorph Viper to stay out of that. Bubble's not going to connect on anyone. Now Life, 200 HP. He's looking very, very juicy, very tender. JJ wants it. There's going to be the ward out. They're going to see him. Time to get out. Scout's going to be moving over as well. So it's going to be maybe at least one. It's going to be a free Gromp. Clid's going to put his ward over to spot this. Might even be able to actually get the smite over. Not going to be able to steal it. Bubble's going to connect onto him, of all people. And that'll be a turret plate over to EDG. So EDG making all the right moves right now. Double kill over to Scout early on was nice, but turret plates on to Viper to propel him is not a bad idea as well. They're kind of just going to leave the top lanes on an island. Clever little play of geometry there by a Scout to get the damage onto BDD. And I remember this location before. Clit's going to be able to get away with it this time. No sneaky bubble through the wall from Scout. And Rascal has moved himself down here as well. Nope. Let me fix that. So the best news is that there hasn't been too much, at least too much done by a Scout. Priority I expected to be in his favor, outside of some excessive like mana expenditures from BDD. Looks like, yep, so Clid's actually going to be ahead of the farm and of the smite game to JJ. 1 minute till Herald starts. Everyone ready for that fight, I trust. Teleports available on Flandre and Scout only. BDD and Rascal forced to use their flats to kind of get back in lane and not lose anything. So there might be even some, I think some cross-map play options, but I don't think it's going to happen this early in the game. Alrighty, so decent zone outs from BDD with the Soldier is going to allow him to actually contest for Prio here. And Scout going to be cut in half. You may have to teleport back in just to be able to contest for this Herald. Oh, that's going to be a turn there on the Scout. Oh, boy. Scout just being a little cheeky. Going to poke BDD just a bit. JJ dodging the maw. It's 8 o'clock, and now it's going to be Herald time. BDD is going to clear out this wave. Teleport's going to come in by Scout. Flandre sitting here, level 7, has not. Still has his teleport available. Has been able to at least get his accelerator, his mythic piece. Now Clid looking around for a way in. Herald's been started by Jade. It's going to be pulled out. And the rest of Gen G are making their way over, but it looks like they might be too late. Herald down to 2.5k. Clid's going to be able to dodge the Sleepy Trouble bubble, but the rest of EDG is going to arrive here just in time to kind of watch it get secured. And it kind of feels like a bit of a waste of time on the side of Gen G, just not reading how quickly EDG wanted to get that Herald because it was right pretty much at the spawn. Like 10 seconds later, they're on it, they're killing it. And Gen G just too slow to the play, it looks like. Now Flandre is going to get stunned up here, and this actually could be big damage. Stun's going to get used, and he's going to get finished off here. Maelstrom and Flash expended, but it will not matter. Rascal will be able to actually shove this wave in. Teleport's going to be used by Flandre, but he's got 17 seconds till he gets back up. There's going to be a couple minions lost here, and some turret plates acquired here for Rascal. So, very good gank there by Clid. Nice, easy little maw out, and that will secure that. But that sleepy trouble bubble on to BDD is going to make him want to uninstall. And he's going to be forced to try to just clear out as much of the wave as possible before he goes down. And now EDG, with full priority, may even just take this Drake.
That was definitely a brush with death there. Bold to go solo as the Lulu.
Oh boy, here is going to be some more turret plates. There's going to be 3 turret plates here on to Scout and JJ. Clid has arrived. Life is in the area, but they're only going to be able to defend, or at least make sure the Herald goes down here. Ruler may need to ult to actually like prevent this wave from crashing in, and that will be that. So keeping themselves safe, keeping those tower plates safe. Good move there from Ruler. But EDG, yeah. EDG with the Zoe and Scout on the Zoe has actually felt like marvelous so far. It's kind of feels like it's really much EDG's game. 3K gold lead in their favor, 10 minutes, 50 seconds in, and it doesn't feel like there's much else for Gen G to do. They are going to be able to secure this Cloud Drake, so they get first Drake of the game, which looked to be a game-winning option for EDG in the last game, and it did not really work out like they wanted to, I believe.
I don't even feel like you necessarily need to commit ganks. BDD as well having flash up now. Even with JJ just hovering towards mid, you can go for plays like we saw earlier where Scouts moving down the river and at least just zoning their bot lane off from the turret.
But yeah, for this series right now, it really feels like Zoe's ended up being like the big difference maker. BDD's performance on it last game was pretty fantastic. Scout's performance on it this game feels a little game breaking. Feels like he's kind of taken over this game a bit, and we need to see if he's going to expand that advantage anywhere else. Looks like a little bit of movement towards bot side is going to give Viper and Mako plenty of time to get themselves 2 more turret plates in their pockets, and that's going to keep expanding this gold lead here. It's going to keep putting EDG further and further ahead, and Gen G pretty much further and further behind. Not since the super early game has it appears that this Gen G bot lane has not been able to really push back or get themselves back underneath EDG's turret. And now, nope, Bubble's going to miss Clid there just in case things went crazy.
I will say at least for this time around, it's more difficult for Gen G to really punish aggressive movement because it has to be.
Oh, it's going to be a streamer shuffle over here. Clid's going to be here in just in time, but he's not going to be able to actually get the maw off. Over the wall, good flash from Scout. That was his real flash for those that want to pay it, that are paying attention. And that will do for that play. So they at least get Scout's flash out, which should set them up for a pretty good option, because while Zoe does have that nice little portal jump to, like, you know, go back and forth, she's actually an immobile mage. All she has is either the flashes you give her or her own flash to actually get herself out of trouble. Everything else is just paddle stars and bubbles. There should be oh no, Scout should be able to make it back in time with this. Alrighty, right now CS check, nothing too simple or too crazy. Topside's been super even. 1 death onto Flandre so far from that gank earlier by Clid. And now it kind of comes down to, like, yep, Rascal should be able to get himself another turret plate here. Just needs to not hit Flandre too much with his shotgun shots.
The only hard thing is that Viper and Mako are hard shoving the wave. So for Ruler and Life to be able to get a deep board for a flank to come out from Rascal would be quite hard. Yeah, also, the flank is very, very improbable. being able to set up at. Okay, never mind.
And that's gonna be that all in here from Viper. Gonna be a little bit more passive about it this time, not allowing himself to get polymorphed all too much, staying probably just out of range of life's spell range. And oh, but JJ's arrived. Felt like Ruler and Life kind of wanted to go forward there and catch Viper out, but it will not come to fruition. Ooh, big dive here. Ruler's not going to be able to get out in time. He's going to be forced to use a flasher. Life's forced to use his ult onto him, but Scott's going to be able to blow him up, and that will be a secured kill for them. 4th for EDG. That's going to be, what, 3 or 4 kills now onto Scout. I think he's actually got all of the kills of EDG at this point. And now they're going to try to shove out mid, try to get something done here. Second Herald is going to be up soon. BD's going to be able to actually get some damage onto this turret. Turret plates have fallen. Yep, and all 4 kills are on Scout right now. He is going to be the damage and the answer and the entirety of EDG, it would seem. BDD and Clit starting up this Herald. Doesn't look like EDG are going to contest for it. Looks like it's just going to be a mid push. But this Herald could be what Gen G need to get themselves in this game, get themselves back into this game, because right now it's a 3k gold lead for EDG, and I think most of that gold is going to be on Scout, because no one else has really gotten a kill.
Ruler and Life going down, at least Life dying in that exchange, losing out on minions and getting more XP and gold onto Viper. And now with those 2 plays traded, and I think it's very intelligent for EDG to kind of force on the bottom side and then force those objectives to go down. Weathering the storm and actually having that cooldown now for Flandre's teleport to come up and being able to match that critical one for top lane. Now it's a level 11 Kennen.
Oh, it's going to be a sleep on to Flandre. Scout. Just short. Doesn't use his portal, but that'll be fine. Probably didn't want to get himself too far out of trouble. Flandre got to get some alone time here topside. Clid trying to start up the Drake, trying to at least get something going here. Now the bubble, that's going to prevent Ruler and Life from joining. And it's going to be, it's going to be able to go over. Now drag down to half health here. It's gonna be really close here. Clid is in smite range. It's gonna be secured by Clid. Now, do we get to a fight here? Cole's gonna come out here, but they're gonna be locked in here. BD is gonna be given the ultimate, but they're gonna be able to jump onto him. He's gonna try to actually get something done here. It's gonna set up the kill for JJ, but now Ruler needs to run here. Rascal's gonna be the last one standing here, but it's gonna be 1v4. There's not much else to really be done. Flandre brought low, but it's just going to be Ruler to survive this. EDG win the fight here. They've got that 5k goalie. That's 5 kills now on to Scout. Finally giving some over. 2 kills secured there by Viper in that fight, and 1 for Flandre. But the amount of focus that EDG have, the jump, the all-in that they've got to go in and just go for these killer plays is there. BD kind of in the pit, and it gets a little stranger. The Colling's going to force him back in. He's actually forced. He gets his ultimate, but he's got to be forced back in. The bubble's going to connect, and then he manages to get a whole bunch done here and actually survives the situation, but he doesn't have a way out of the pit, and so he just gets cleaned up by Scout there. And the double kill from Viper is fantastic.
Despite the fact that a lot of people know these teams as like slower paced teams, especially in regards to the regions they play in, again, we see that later on in the game. Both of these teams are going to be aggressive, go toe-to-toe in the first 15 minutes, as we've seen a large gold lead almost every game.
Yep. Yeah, pre-20 minutes, but definitely like pre-15 minutes, things are happening with these teams. Like, they're just understanding that things must be done early. Like, you must do something. And frankly, although we didn't get to see the big fight, we did get to see at least usually we see most of the teams actually going up for the Herald around 8 minutes pretty early on. JJ invading up here. BD trying to at least secure as much of his team's jungle as possible, but this does put this turret at a disadvantage, and this will be the 3rd turret here for EDG. Right now, Rascal's bot side against Flandre, and they're having a healthy discussion, I guess you could say, but whether or not that bot turret's going to stick around. It looks like Flandre's is going to give it up and away. Rascal should be able to clear this wave out and get another round of good damage on to that. But now Ruler and Life kind of curious if they're going to be able to actually hold this one out. Not going to be pushed too hard. Herald's going to be dropped for free back here mid lane. Clid kind of sneaking that one in. and that charge release get off. So turret secured bot side there, second turret for Gen G. Mid lane turret pretty low on health, pretty weak, shouldn't take too much more to take that one down. And it looks like, yep, a little bit of ward clearing. Alright.
Could secure damage on the tower. Maybe they can return to it at a later date. They did at least get Rascal's push in. They've really struggled to make use of that, teleport advantage for Rascal though when they've had it with the Graves. Not necessarily for like 10 minutes. It's like not necessarily a very big flanking impact when you come in and can you like smoke screen sometimes can create some plays, but you need the other team to overcommit, right? That's really the only way you can punish. Yeah, and try and spread the map and make use of the tons of damage that this team does have packed in and try and push out the minion waves. For Gen G, it seems like they're kind of following the game plan of EDG from last time around of just turtling in their own base, not overcommitting too much. And heck, even lucky for them, they're the team with 2 dragons. So EDG not on a front where they're going to be able to pull them out, but Rift Herald, actually not Rift Herald, Baron.
Yeah, Baron's up, bud. Baron's up.
Yeah, and again, this time around, EDG feels so confident. They've got the Zoe, 5 kills, 2 item power spikes, 7 stacks on the Dark Seal, 4.
Oh, and the Cosmic Drive for Scout as well. So, okay, so I guess that's an appropriate build. I'm sorry, but after all the commentary I heard from I Will Dominate on BDD's itemization, I just don't trust him. But it looks like the Cosmic Drive will be in play. And frankly, he's a whole item ahead of BDD right now. So this is a very, very trying game right now. Half an item ahead for Viper in the bot lane. JJ got a Score Drinker, got a couple of Ruby Crystals. And it looks like the penetration is going to be the next thing in line for Flandre. It looks like he just wants to cut through all of Gen G and just make sure they don't have a chance here. Rascal can be able to dodge from the bubble. Does get hurt by the Paddle Star, but he'll be able to heal up just fine. And now next Drake's going to come up. Gen G should probably give this one away. Clid trying to secure this. Oh, he's going to be able to actually get away. He's going to be able to get the blasting going. So just by the skin of his teeth, Clid trying to just edge back some advantages here for Gen G. Now BDD and Clid are arriving. The rest of Gen G are on their way. Life making his way into the river. Plenty of brushes here. It is an Ocean Soul and Ocean Rift. And that bubble? Oh, Rascal's going to be able to dodge it out. Dragon will be started. And these brushes are going to actually do Gen G quite a lot of favors. They've got to figure out what they actually want to get done here. Good little double up there on the JJ. Scouts coming in from top side, but they are aware of this here. That ward giving vision. Bubble's going to miss. They know he's in that area, and so is Flandre. Now they have to figure out what they actually want to get done here. Bullet time up and available for Ruler. 2.5k. They're actually just going to put it in. They're going to try to burst it down. It's going to get secured by Clid. And JJ's going to be able to flash away from the Heartbreaker. Clid dodging and weaving between all of these abilities. And now here comes a big engagement from BDD. But I don't know if it's exactly what they want here, because here comes Flandre with his Maelstrom. And that may not have been the smartest play there from BDD. Counter kill from Rascal is great. They get their third Drake. They put themselves on soul point. But I don't think they needed to fight that. Bubble from downtown from Scout, and that's going to get secured, cleaned up by Viper. 4-0-5 on this Lucian. 6-0-4 for Scout, and Flandre may have died, and Mako may have died, but that was plenty worth it for EDG. Now comes Baron? Timer, yeah, death timers are way too low. I don't think they'll be able to actually get that done. Alrighty, so very questionable play there out of BDD. I don't really agree with that, because you kind of ended up just putting Flandre like into the middle of your team to just maelstrom them down. Like, watch this. Like, where is Flandre? Like, Flandre's right back there with Mako right now. So, like, yeah, like, the kind of, like, Clid dodges left and right on all this, but, like, look at what BDD puts into his team. He goes in, shoves back, and, yeah, okay, so it looks like Flandre found his way around, and I just don't think that was the right play. Yeah. So I'm glad me and the other commentators, the other analysts are agreeing on that. There was nothing needed for there. The front to back team fight is what you should really want. And if you got the soul, or you got yourself primed for soul, you're pretty set and good to go. But now you're at a 6,000 or worse gold differential. and your chances of winning this game just kind of keep dropping further and further away, especially when you kind of just make plays like that. I guess the best news right now is that Ruler just got his LDR, got his second item, so he's still only half an item behind Viper, but he hasn't died yet. CS leads aren't too crazy anywhere. 20 CS lead on the side of Clid. Clid, I think, has been doing a lot of good work for the team in this game. Just stealing camps, securing these Drakes, gotten 3 in a row. And now we're going to be a little bit back and forth here. Mid lane probably is going to go over for Gen G. There's not much for them to do over on this Dragon side here. Kind of wish they would have stepped up to take that turret. There's a little bit of an NA ram. Gen G, wondering if EDG is going to start. It's starting that Baron. They don't really have any blue trinkets up and available. Now comes the pushback into at least Gen G's vision. Bubble out across here. That's going to be the calling there on top of EDG. He's going to be forced to jump away. And now Clid super low as well. He's going to be in. He's going to be in and available. There comes the Maelstrom here. Bullet time across to actually prevent the jump and the choke. Flandra's going to dodge just in time. But BD is going to be able to actually get the pick with the soldier across the bow. So Gen G with a man advantage, but still super low. And they're going to be forced to back off. So buying themselves some time here. Still a scary 5k gold lead. EDG still with a lot of power, a lot of item advantages here. 17 stacks on that death note, on that soul stealer for Scout. So he is becoming a monster. He is going to blow people up. Life will have none if he is caught by a Scout. I don't even think there's going to be a bubble necessary. So they actually try to at least catch them on their step back. Yeah, and it's going to be just nice double knock up here, but everyone is allowed to get. They get the knock up, they get the Cataclysm on the 2 mobile characters of Clid and BDD, and at this point, the turnaround onto Flandre is pretty massive. I'm very sorry that Concussion Blast did not catch onto Flandre, but he was just having to force that situation so much to have a chance to get to at least try to get the fight that his team won, or at least win that fight. 40 seconds till this Ocean Drake comes up. This is going to be Soul here, and I hope BDD has learned his lesson. Take the Soul and run, because once they get this, the poke from Scout will be massive, but it will not stick as hard. And Gen G have a pretty good defensive, set of characters here. Especially if there's an overreach by the likes of Flandre or JJ. They will be able to turn, they will be able to push people away, they will be able to ult into their faces. And now here comes the Soul. It's going to be it's going to be a bot lane fight before the Drake even spawns, trying to catch Clid or Ruler out. But this is getting a little bit stranger here. Ruler needs to stay away from that wall here. It's going to set himself up for a bubble to connect. It's going to hit on to the jungler, and that's going to be a paddle star on to Ruler. It's going to cut him in half. JJ is going to flag and drag forward. Rascal fighting Flandre on the side. And it's going to be a bullet timer. JJ is going to be brought low, down to a quarter of his health. And now Rascal kind of going forward. He's going to get knocked up here by the tidal wave and the bubble prison. But now BDD will be forced to back off. Teleport is available on him, so he will be able to join the fight at full health. But now here's going to be the catch out here. And it's going to be a forced to ult over the wall. Clid trying to find his way into this fight. But the dragon is going to be confirmed. Now it's time to run away. And that's going to be a sleepy Ruler. And he's going to go down here. Secure double kill over for Scout. And Viper is now unstoppable. I believe he also got himself a double kill. And BDD trying to fight out against Scout right now. He's actually going to be able to dodge a few things. And the stopwatch to save Scout's life. Rascal going to come in. Still on the run. Still being chased here by Viper and JJ. And EDG have almost had this game in the bag. Gen G keep getting super close to it. But I really like how EDG kind of force him into the bot lane. Force him super far away from the Drake. And then have all this kind of just choke control, the zone control with the bubble, with Flandre himself and his Maelstrom to just make sure that Gen G can't get in. Clid's forced to just burn everything to stay alive, to try to get as close to the Drake as possible, but it just does not work out. It is not enough. And unfortunately, that's been the superpower for at least the culling from Viper is great, but like all the poke, look at all the damage that's on Gen G right now. It's been pretty equally traded.
This is where like Flandre just does his job of just preventing Clid from getting anywhere into this, and Scout just doing the Lord's work here. Jumps over, blows up Clid, sets up the bubble and the stun onto the Misfortune. And Scout actually, I think the BDD tried to actually get in on this, but it's just not enough. He almost gets the scare off, dodges the bubble. The sweep might have finished off Scout, but it was not enough. Scout's way too good, and that's what we're talking about here. 5.4k damage coming out from Scout in that fight. That's almost twice what his AD carry did. That's almost twice what Viper did, and Viper was no slouch in that game, in that fight. And there we are. Half health off of Rascal. And that quick draw is really nice to make him tankier, but it's only armor that he gets. It's not magic resist. And that's going to be a siege on 2 turrets. Scout's going to take care of at least buffing up the wave here in the mid lane while EDG take care of the top side turret. They're EDG kind of priming themselves, at least with this positioning of where the super minions would come in, to at least make sure that there is going to be a very big geographical gap in between Gen G's priorities of having to keep the super minion wave pushed back, and where the probably the game-winning objective is for Gen G, or at least what would actually really help them bridge this game. And because if you see that same, if we have the same fight that just happened, Gen G would be so much healthier than EDG. So that Ocean Soul will be it'll either make this game even more done in EDG's favor, or it will give Gen G such a great fighting chance and such a much easier time defending against all of the poke that will be that's coming out from EDG. Clid half health, BDD half health. This is just the name of the game here. BDD is going to be given the ultimate. It's going to be a sleeping life, I believe. Wave's going to come across to push everyone away. Clid looking for the access point, but everyone outside of EDG is still so healthy, and there's still 38 seconds left on this Baron buff. If they can get themselves this second inhib, that will almost guarantee that Gen G cannot leave their base. And oh my gosh, misses the bubble, but Scout just blows up Ruler. Nothing necessary. I think Flandre might have contributed a shuriken, but that may actually be the end of the game here. Ruler with no ult may not have been able to do much, but EDG just going to start walking this one in. They've got their Baroned up minions. Mako's going to be brought low, but that's going to be Scout just blowing up Lulu, getting himself a full stack of pages in this book, and now it's going to be the runaround. BDD trying to make the hero play here. He's going to go golden. He's got his turret being spawned, but that's just not going to be enough. That thing's not even going to prevent them from killing the Nexus turret here. Everyone on EDG stay alive here, and we are going to a game 5.